And welcome to another episode of Learning to Die Less. This is a grumpy old guy gaming, and today we find ourselves in the middle of a dark and stormy fire field. In our previous episode, we hit the vaunted level 10, which was originally my goal for this series, to see if I could get a Wave Master up to level 10 while learning the ins and outs of this game. We have achieved that goal, and we're going to see if we can push it a little further today. This is a level 12 field. Did not take too much of a notice on the keywords, they were all in Japanese. We are playing on the Datafire server today. So if you are hosting the Datafire server, thank you for having us along for this little playthrough here. A lot of pretty strong enemies. Here's a Flameheads, a Cerberus inspired monster. Big giant three-headed dog that is just not going down, throwing all of the Ruroms we have at it, and within a couple battles here between the Hungry Grass and the Flameheads, find ourselves very low on mana. Hungry Grass, if you remember from previous episodes, has that nasty ability to put you to sleep, which with a Wave Master, any sort of incapacitation is a serious liability. Flameheads are big, but pretty easy targets to dodge and not the most agile things on the planet. As you could see, we got a couple elemental hits there, and that is just a ton of damage thrown on it. Elemental hits are a huge advantage in fields like this. So if you could afford the inventory space, it's probably not a bad idea to carry a couple different element weapons with you, just so you're prepared. Here on the weapon I have, the Wand of Wisdom, actually has 2 fire spells attached to it. Gonna keep clearing the portals here and cut off by another Hungry Grass that we managed to take out. Getting 6 experience there. And another Hungry Grass wanders our way and we throw some fire its way. Take a moment, let a little bit of mana regenerate here. Episode 8 in this series. Tough to believe we've already put 8 episodes worth of work in here. If you go all the way back to episode 1, I actually had to record that one offline. Having so many problems playing this Wave Master character, and that was sort of the inspiration for this. I figured a casting class like this would be pretty vulnerable solo, and I wanted to see what it would take to get one level 10. Here we take a Flamehead out while dodging a Hungry Grass. That was a bit of a nightmare scenario there. Thought of being put to sleep with a big, heavy monster there. Last thing we want to do is give it a chance to catch up to us. Like the little swirling sprite effects in the air there. Not seeing any springs of mist here or anything fun to interact with. If you're wondering what the grunty food of the field is, it is Twilight Onions. Here comes a couple more Hungry Grass. Wasn't able to catch them in time and that fire spell fails. That one connects, doesn't quite do the job though, so we're going to finish it off, but not before it puts us to sleep. Leaves us a little bit of a sitting duck here. Fortunately, nothing in the immediate vicinity, so we're able to wait this one out. Nice side effect to waiting it out is we get a fair chunk of skill points back before we start moving. Pick up a ceramic anklet. That is a Wave Master usable equipment, but one I've already got equipped. So our drought on finding new equipment continues, and here's another big bad. The Red Worm. Pretty classic fantasy monster. If you play a game of this genre, you expect to run into a giant red dragon. That one's got a nasty attack up close and is able to cast fireballs at a distance. Our stats, of course, are skewed to magic, both on the offensive and defensive side, so staying at a safe distance was probably a safe bet. There we are, some Twilight Onion. Pick those up in offline mode. For for those of you looking to play Fragment, you could raise a Grunty, and once you get one to adulthood, you get a key item called the Grunty Flute. Come up on another couple hungry grass here. The Grunty Flute allows you to call Grunty to a field like this, and you could ride it around and ignore battle while you're riding it. Could even sniff out other Grunty food for you. Hungry grass is going to take a couple shots at us. At this point we could just be thankful it's just hungry grass. We're able to recover in plenty of time without being in too much danger, and finish it off. Fortune wire for the chest here, and inside is a Hands of Earth. Pop a heal spell and a Mage's Soul, get ourselves back up to full health, full skill points, and continue on our way. Portals are a bit more spread out. Didn't take the most organized route here, and yet another dangerous draw here. We get 4 hungry grass. I'm put to sleep before I could take them all out, and as you could see, entering from the left there was a red worm. Serious danger here as I'm flanked by a hungry grass and a red worm. Fortunately, their hits were not the most damaging, and I was able to get away. Get some distance between myself and them, pop a potion to get back up to full, and after finishing the hungry grass, take out the worm with relative ease. Ruram really helping me on this fire field. Another trapped chest here, so we'll use another Fortune wire. Inside is another Hands of Earth. Gonna make our way south here to this portal. There's a Flamehead starting off with an elemental hit, taking it down to about 1/3 of its health, and finishing off with 2 more. Got a monster coming in from the right, and it's another red worm. This time we are prepared, we get a little distance, and we're sitting at about 36 skill points by the time it comes to us. So an elemental hit on a Ruram gets us in great position to finish it off with a second, and we are able to take it out before its spell can touch us. Even if a monster has cast a spell, if you are able to finish it off before that spell lands, the animation will play through, but it will not hurt you. Status effects take hold instantly, so you're never going to outpace them, but the damage spells have that little bit of a window. And as a wave master with this character, I am very grateful for that window. Pick up another ceramic anklet there. And we're down to just a couple portals here. Pass a brick wall and grab some Twilight Onions. Got a little confused on that placement of one there. Gonna take a look at our status real quick. Level 10, 213 experience. Coming directly to this portal, it's another Flameheads. So you could see over 1,000 hit points for that thing when it first starts out. So this is one of these we just gotta keep hacking at till it falls. Fortunately, nice big target and really susceptible to magic. Very few if any misses if you notice throughout this playthrough. Grab a Mountain Guard, not a useful equipment for us, but a valuable one, especially at this stage of the game. There's a red worm, and that'll be our last field portal, as you could see the message pop up to let us know we've cleared them. Nothing left to do now but get ourselves to the dungeon. A little bit further away than I would have liked to be, but again, I wasn't clearing all that carefully. I usually try to leave one pretty close to the dungeon there for last, so it's a nice easy pop in. And again, I'm of the mindset that you try and clear the field portals first, and whatever you do in the dungeon, you do in the dungeon. The goal is to get to the chest. If you feel the opposite way about it, feel free to let me know in the comments. Perhaps your team all dungeon portals cleared. Is that a team? I don't know. So we get to the dungeon here. Looks to be some sort of castle dungeon. Castle or fort walls, I'm not sure which one. Never was 100% on the interiors, except for the flesh dungeon. That one's pretty self-descriptive. Gonna walk in here. Our portal is towards the back half of the room, which gives us a moment to prepare, and we've got another flame heads. So nothing too different from what we saw outside. Generally, the first level of a dungeon is about the same strength level as the field, as I've noticed. There may be a slight variance in monster, but it's pretty similar. I'm going to take a quick look at our equipment here while we wait for the skill points to recover. Got that winter coat, that's what's giving us the Rue Rom, which has been a lifesaver here. Back up to 53 mana. Our max is 55 right now at level 10. Skill points, not mana, sorry. I wonder what the over-under is on the number of times I'll apologize for that mistake throughout the series. I'm gonna put it out there tentatively at 20. I feel like that's where I'm gonna finish. If somebody goes through and watches all the videos and finds out, let me know, and gold star and cookie time for you for the extra effort. Gonna smash a couple breakable objects here, take a walk into this side door, and lo and behold, there's the steps down to the second floor. Not gonna pass that up because I'm not gonna lie, running a dungeon 2 levels higher with all these big monsters floating about, a little bit intimidating for me. I certainly don't want to change the title of this series to Learning to Die More all of a sudden. So today we're just gonna kind of take the lazy route on this dungeon and just find our way to the bottom. Here's a big old red worm in a tiny room. We managed to finish it off, nicely propped up on this little staircase here. And it drops a trap chest, so we're going to fortune wire that thing to safety and pop her open. Inside is a stun sword. Sounds like it should have some sort of added effect. I don't think it does. I think it's just a thunder element weapon for heavy blades. Here we have a choice to go left or right, and if you were pulling your hair out on the first floor when I left that treasure chest completely untouched and went in the side door, don't worry, I got you covered here. We got the treasure chest, we pulled a health drink out of the breakable items, and we pulled another red worm in this next room. Hitting those elemental attacks right away gives me a great deal of confidence. As you could see, by the time that first Rue Rom was done, that worm was all the way down to 84 hit points. These large rooms typically have at least 2 breakable objects. A lot of times they'll have a chest or 2, or a chest and an egg. Here we've got ourselves a bear cat egg. Head into this room and find yet another red worm. This is apparently the dragon floor of the dungeon. Not minding too much because we're taking them out relatively easily, and they're giving us 15 experience per shot. So you'll see none of these battles have been overly daunting, but the experience is starting to pile up. Not gonna level in this one, I'll let you know that ahead of time, but we will make some good progress. Almost walked by these little pots again. Didn't get anything out of them, but still worth it to take the shot. Kind of look at them like scratch-off lottery tickets. If they're there, why not? Picked up a health drink out of that one. And walk into a little room with a breakable object and a treasure chest. Picked up a meteor swarm out of that. There's 100 gold banked. And another red worm to face. Didn't get our elemental hit there, so our Ruram only took out about a third of its health, but it missed on its fireball. So another one gets it down to 187 health, and the third finishes it off before Fireball 2 can land. 15 experience, and now we take the corner and head into the next room, which gives us our stairs to floor number 3. Third floor is where I start usually wondering where the exit is in these dungeons. Sometimes, depending on the field, I'm wondering that on the first floor. Up against another red worm here. Missed with its fireball. I don't know whether my magic evade is that high compared to this field, or if I was just really lucky on this playthrough. But I've gotta say, yeah, I guess it is kinda high. Magic evade of 44. I've gotta say, I was really kinda pleased that we dodged so many serious damage shots here. Picked up a ceramic anklet there. And a mountain guard. Only one door to go, so straight ahead we shall continue. There's another portal, and inside is a chest. Did my usual best to cast a spell on the inanimate object. Did not work. Moving on, we've got a portal opening just off to our right, and here are some guardians, some earth element monsters. Very hardy, I noticed. Just chucking Ruram after Ruram at them, and they're just refusing to go down easy. Do manage to take him down, but I'm all the way down to 15 skill points. That said, picked up 12 apiece for him, and 36 experience is hard to get upset about. Next room to follow. This is a big old room, has a couple of hallways branching off of it. There's a flameheads right in the middle. Generally, when you're facing a monster like this, you want it to be in a big open space so you have plenty of room to move around. Thought the elemental hit might have finished it, but it left a little bit of health remaining. So we took it out with a third Ruram, and now we are very low on mana. So we're going to take our time disarming this chest and being sure not to move beforehand so we get as much bonus mana for staying idle as we can get. Once again, I know there's skill points. Just used to saying mana. Continuing through to the next room, and we've got a long hallway with a bend in the middle. This portal gives us another flameheads. About 30 mana at the start. We're in pretty good shape to take it down as is. Needed that elemental hit for the last one. But 15 experience added to our character. Wave Master's taking care of business here already on the third floor of this dungeon. Gonna take a moment and get some skill points back the hard way. Pick up a ceramic anklet, and just to confirm, yes, we do have a ceramic anklet equipped, so all of these we're picking up are just sellable in town. Here we come up to another couple of guardians. Managed to get our first spell off before they move too far away. Second spell only hits the one on the left, so we've got to sort of scramble for the third and take it out before it's able to hit us. Wasn't really sure how big a threat they would be if they hit us, and I wasn't in too big a hurry to find out. We progress to the next room here, and it's the stairs to floor number 4. Full health, full skill points on our way. Pretty good shape. Really haven't been using too many items. Been doing our best to minimize that with smart usage of our time here. Taking that extra second or two in dungeons is always beneficial, since once you clear out the room, no monsters are going to wander into you. Here again, we get that first shot off, and then the Guardians separate just enough to not be hit with the spells. Going to do my best to move around in a semicircle here, try and group them together. Doesn't quite work out though, so I just finish them off one at a time. For those of you kind of sick of seeing Roo-Rom, I'm right with you, but it's the only tornado spell I have currently, and the tornado spells are just that much better at lower levels. All sorts of treasure chests to open up here. We got an assassin, we got a hanged man, we got the moon, and we'll finish off with the death. Couple different routes we could choose. We'll take the side door here. Another large square room. This one has a portal opening up to a chest. Fire Tempest in there. Break these couple objects. I believe corpse warriors in each corner. And continue on our way. Red Worm, not the most spaced maneuver, but we get that early elemental attack. It misses on its fireball. Able to take it down, and for our troubles we get the levers. Pick up the hanged man out of the chest that was sitting in the room. Take the upper passage to a treasure room. The chest has a meteor swarm and then a few breakable objects to take out. Kinda hoping to pick up some consumable items here. Always smile if you get a mage's soul out of these. But we go 0 for 9 on those. So let's head down to the opposite doorway and see what that holds for us. Got a long corridor and some steps down to the 5th floor. Here we start with a medium-sized hallway, get our cardio in, and prepare for the next room. No portal here, but a bearcat egg and a corpse. Corpse is holding a health drink. Probably would have been more useful before it started decomposing. Come to another one of your choose a direction rooms. This time we choose breakable objects. Pick up a burning oil out of that pot. Next room has the statue. And it looks like this was another time dungeon. We failed miserably in that respect. As you could see, the slowest time that would have placed was just over 12 minutes, and we did this one in about double that. But that's a level 12 dungeon cleared by a level 10 Wave Master. This has been a Grumpy Old Guy Gaming, finishing up another edition of Learning to Die Less, the series where we play a Wave Master and dot hack fragment. Thank you for watching, and take care.